Morning, everybody. It's Dr. Kenton Wakes Up. I'm Dr. Kenton. Today is October 14th, 2024. It's a Monday. How are you? Mondays are for meetings and for unbreaking things that got broken. Today in the cup, I was at a discount grocery store and I picked up Running Pump Roasting's Rooster breakfast blend. It's okay. I don't remember what the name of the grocery store was, but I think it's local to this area. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The Gerhardt Coffee Company. They're on Facebook at Running Pump Roasting. No spaces. Enjoy. So today, as you can tell, I'm dressed for work already. It's 8:40 approximately. I have to leave in about 45 minutes to an hour to get to a meeting that I have on campus. And then I may have a lunch meeting, and then I teach tonight. I don't know what the class is going to be like tonight because they would have submitted their final presentations and projects last night. I tried my best. Hold on a second. Tried my best to cool off before I did this, but I must have been in a bit of a hurry. I have to be on the road earlier than I usually go, and so I'm a little schwitzy, a little sweaty. It's fine. It'll be fine. I did my workout this morning. Feel good about that. Stuck it through even though I considered giving up. Don't quit. Don't quit. Another important thing, the important message of today is be aware of and mindful of and wary of secondhand information and putting your own reputation on it by spreading it forward. There's as you probably, this for historical purposes, no one's going to pay attention to this, but at this point in October of 2024, which is the 14th. Oh, happy Octoberteenth, everybody. I hope you did your things yesterday. First day of Octoberteenth is to revisit your planning mechanisms and decide whether they need any modifications. And the Sunday of month teenth is reserved for being kind to yourself and be kind to yourself. And 13th, are your personal management systems serving you? Review them and decide. Today is Monday. Sunday was yesterday. That's the 13th. Resting day today. Avoid external commitments. I did that. I rested and I avoided external commitments. Today is Monday. Be kind to yourself today. Okay. And 14th, which personal management system would you like to focus on before the next teenth? So right now I've got these planning cards. I'll show you one. Well, here's a whole stack of them. These planning cards are ones that are done. You see they got blue and red marks on them, and I explained those in another video. But I'm working on that, so I'm going to continue with that. Monday, be kind to yourself. 14th, which personal management system would you like to focus on before the next teenth? And I'm going to try to keep these planning cards going. They do help. They do seem to help. They're a spiritual descendant of time boxing because they have 1 hour blocks. The expectation is you work on the project that's in the box. And I tried to do half hour. I tried to do 15-minute blocks. That's too short. 30 minutes. It's hard to predict. So an hour's better. And I have a 2 hour block every morning that involves, let me just show you today's instead of talking about it. Nothing personalized on here. Nobody's names on there. So as you can see at the top, 7 o'clock hours and 8 o'clock hours are set for morning. That includes wake up, walk my dog, feed my dog, eat breakfast, work out, not in that order. Finalize the schedule, posted a daily stoic to Obsidian, weather to Obsidian, do my ablutions, record and post this thing, and review the inbox document. So I'm on my path to get that accomplished today. And when you accomplish something in this system, you mark it through with a blue line. So I'm going to predict that I'm going to do this. So that's what it looks like. So you see the morning lines are crossed through with a blue line. If I had not been able to accomplish that, it would get crossed through with a red line. And what I did instead, written in red. All right. The thing about personal information or secondary information or putting forward information that you didn't collect yourself. There was I listened to a podcast. I don't always agree with the things that the guy says, but it's important to pay attention to the message, the overall message. And he issued a retraction. His name's Sean Ryan, and he issued a retraction. He reported on his podcast that the Vice President of the United States had a photo op on an airplane, and the suggestion was that as soon as the Vice President got off the plane, the airplane got parked, and the aid supplies that were on the plane were destined or determined to not be delivered. Period. So it was just, in other words, he put forward the notion that the Vice President knowingly participated in a fraud where material that was destined for hurricane survivors was going to be specifically and deliberately held back, and that she was using a photo op to gain some sort of political advantage for it. But his retraction was that somebody from the airplane crew called or contacted him. I don't know how. I think he said emailed him and said, it's true that airplane never left the airfield, but the reason why was that it had a mechanical problem and needed to be repaired. Not that it wasn't going to be delivered, but that airplane wasn't going to deliver the supplies. So what happened was the supplies were unloaded off the airplane and loaded onto a different airplane. And then those supplies were delivered. The supplies were delivered, not with the specific airframe that was in those pictures, but the point that he had said previously on the podcast was that those supplies weren't delivered. He issued a retraction because he was told by a person on the ground, and he then subsequently confirmed that it's true, but he was told by the secondary person. And he, then expressed a little bit of disdain at the first person who told him. He said an officer on the air crew was the one that told him that the material was not to be delivered by order of whomever up the chain. And that, so first off, I'm not a huge fan of Sean Ryan's politics. He admits he has some biases against the Democratic administrations, or at least the Biden administration, and that's fine. But he's in a position, this is rare, and I want to bring attention to it because it's rare. He was in a position to not have to acknowledge that he said what he said. Could have said, well, the information I was given, blah, blah, blah. But then he was given other information and he acted on it. So I give him credit for that. Being willing to act on further information, that's good stuff. Backtracking, taking back what he said because of the results of subsequent investigation, that's also very good. So he mentioned that his biases, I may be getting these out of order slightly. The point is, he knows that he has biases against certain entities in the present administration, but he felt like his integrity and honesty was more important. And so then I listened to another podcast today from a person whose opinion I admire about one set of topics, who's saying similar things, that people are showing up with truckloads full of supplies and that the FEMA people are taking the supplies from them and not distributing those supplies and not allowing people to proceed further toward the town where the devastation is, to try and help rescue people or distribute aid or whatever. Now, I know that's frustrating. It is frustrating to feel like I'm trying to help and I'm being prevented from helping. But if you feel like you can do it yourself, then why are you asking permission? I'm not advocating people going around roadblocks, but you're going to the aid agency who's empowered to distribute the aid, and you're asking them to let you go forward with your stuff. Well, what I'm told is that when a disaster occurs and FEMA is given control, their focus for the first handful of days is not on distributing food packets. It's on getting roads open, rescuing people. It's on very 100% pragmatic, get the infrastructure reestablished, ascertain whether the infrastructure can be sustained. Because if they let you go forward with your truck full of supplies, so in the very rare case you make it to exactly where you want to go and you distribute the stuff, that's fine. I don't like that thumbs up. That's not what it's about. Number two, if you, in a more likely case, somehow you're prevented from getting to where you are, whether it be road washed out, tree down across the road, whatever the case, now your stuff, your truckload of stuff, is also blocking the way for other people who are empowered to do the work to actually do the work. Crew comes along that wants to bulldoze trees out of the road or chainsaw them, and now your truck full of stuff is choking the road and they can't get by. Or you get yourself into a situation where you're driving along and the road washes out from under you, and now you're also somebody who is requesting help. So I know it's frustrating to get to a place and be turned around, but what I also need to the people who are trying to manage the emergency want as much help as they can get. They do. But they want that work to be deployed in particular ways. And the early point of the process, they want to get things back working again. So if you're not there as part of an electrician or lineman crew, you're probably going to get turned around. If you're not there and ready to move heavy equipment, drive heavy equipment, to volunteer and blah blah blah, they're going to turn you around. The fact that you've got your entire box truck full of pork and beans doesn't mean anything, because the mission that they're trying to accomplish is not about distributing pork and beans. It's about getting the roads back open, getting the power turned back on, because, those types of things need to be done first. Triage in the triage sense. Anyway, I shouldn't give a crap about this. It's none of my business. Anyway, so have a great day. Have a great Monday, and remember, be kind to yourself. Bye. Love you. Bye.